Sio Nagad, hello all. Oshasahia, good evening, and Wado, thank you for watching. This is day 62 of Transformation of America, the true life story of a CIA mind control slave by Kathy O'Brien with Mark Phillips. And we are working our way through the epilogue, chapter 33 of Kathy's story. Kelly, until she turned 18, remained a political prisoner in the custody of the state of Tennessee, where she was denied qualified therapy for the MK-Ultra Project Monarch mind control abuses she endured. The state of Tennessee, under the politically powerful influence of Kelly's abusers, was in violation of numerous laws and basic civil rights in their determined efforts to keep Kelly from qualified therapy and the family she loves. While many of those in positions to make a difference in Kelly's case operate on a need-to-know basis rather than deliberately conspire with the bad guys, a closer look into Kelly's case history should raise serious questions in their minds. Questions like, what could a child have to do with the so-called national security of our country? Exactly. Let's see. The juvenile court judge presiding over Kelly's case closed the doors to the media and onlookers for reasons of national security, while gross and blatant violations of law and rights ensued. For over 3 long years, Kelly and I have been denied our right to an unbiased attorney, while court-appointed advocates and so-called guardians joined forces with attorneys paid off by my pedophile father. My own court-appointed attorney, who doubles for the juvenile court judge when he takes a day off, has yet to represent my interest. My interest is in Kelly's well-being and future, and if she will have a future at all. While Kelly is still amnesiac with regard to most of her past, she is deliberately denied therapeutic access to her past, due to who and what she will recall. I am denied access to Kelly for fear she would be triggered into remembering my mere presence. As for my deliberately triggering Kelly to remember what she was supposed to forget as her abusers fear, it has been my experience that recovery must come from the inside out, not from outside input. I want no less for Kelly that the PIECE/PEACE of mind I have gained through qualified rehabilitation, which raises the questions: why has the juvenile court prohibited us from saying the name George Bush? Why is the Wizard of Oz a taboo subject for Kelly, while the Senate of Tennessee provides her with Stephen King horror novels? What? Why are Kelly and I forbidden by the court to say the words president, politics, New World Order, and mind control? In an attempt by state employees to normalize our relationship, Kelly and I are forbidden to discuss the past, my immediate efforts to affect her desire and desperate situation, or future plans as a family. Most appalling and unjust, in Kelly's view, is the state of Tennessee's refusal to allow her any contact whatsoever with Mark Phillips. While I am hindered from having private conversations with my daughter due to court-ordered supervision and censorship, Kelly is denied the right to even wave to Mark across the parking lot. Considering that, like me, Mark has never been named as an abuser, declared unfit, or violated any court orders, the question must be asked: why does the state of Tennessee go to such lengths to ban all communication between Kelly and the man who rescued her and taught her the meaning of unconditional love? Kelly has asked these questions for years to no avail. The state of Tennessee refuses to even acknowledge her request for an unbiased attorney who will represent her interests instead of those of the state. Kelly's pleas for an attorney to represent her go no further than the deaf ears of the assigned state social worker managing her case. This social worker is operating on a need-to-know basis that has no basis, and she needs to know that she, along with the state of Tennessee, will be held accountable in the event that Kelly hurts someone or herself. Kelly's frustrations have mounted beyond her ability to cope. I applaud Kelly for her determined but weakened efforts to stay in control of her own mind despite being denied qualified rehabilitation for the devastating results of Project Monarch mind control abuses. Kelly's daily attempts to accomplish this impossible by, and then it's psychologically is the next word, but psycho is in lowercase, and then logically is in uppercase. Managing her psychiatric disorder is proportionate to her high intellect and willful determination, but it is not enough to fend off the psychological warfare that has been waged against her through CIA damage containment practices. CIA damage containment practices designed to keep her contained in amnesiac silence. She needs help. She needs a collective voice. Kelly can be helped through public outcry and through abolishment of the 1947 National Security Act, in parentheses, and 1984 Reagan Amendment to same, that has destroyed the true security of our once great nation. You can write to your congressmen and senators demanding that so-called National Security Act be reclaimed. Do it today. Thank you. Update. Now that Kelly is 18, Fall 1988, despite public outcry that grew to include a wide variety of international rights organizations with numerous documents / letters directed to Tennessee's governor, and then in parentheses S, so governors, many of which were copied to me, Kelly has yet to be granted her right to qualified technological rehabilitation for the proven U.S. government-sponsored MK-Ultra mind control abuses she endured since birth. Those few criminals in control of our country, our information, and subsequently our criminal justice system refuse to provide the known but nevertheless classified technological antidote for a problem they won't admit exists. In view of over 70,000, in parentheses, declassified documents, evidences, videos, medical records, affidavits, and government insider testimony proving the reality of the MK Ultra mind control abuses Kelly and I endured that are part of what Mark Phillips and I accumulated over the years, it is absolutely inexcusable that cover-up continues. Or as the only judge, Andy Shookoff, Shookoff, thus far involved in this case, said in a 1993 Nashville, Tennessee juvenile court hearing, laws do not apply in this case for reasons of national security. After a decade of cover-up, Kelly was released untreated from the custody of the state of Tennessee. In the interim, she is waiting in a safe environment for the rehabilitation she so desperately deserves. Victim of the system. Timeline. February 4th, 1988, Mark Phillips rescued Kelly and me from our tortured mind control existence as slaves of the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency / Central Intelligence Agency's MK Ultra Project Monarch. Totally dissociative and amnesiac, we fled from our CIA operative mind control handler, Alex Houston, my owner, U.S. Senator Robert C. Byrd, Kelly's primary abuser, George Bush, and the criminal covert black budget activity funding operation, and then in parentheses S, so operations, in which we were forced to participate on national and international levels. We escaped the Pandora's box of horrors with enough secrets to expose criminal and perverse activity on the highest levels of our government. But we have yet to escape the psychological warfare assault involving cover-up and intimidation tactics that continue to date. March 1988, I swore out a series of 3 criminal warrants by the Nashville, Tennessee Metropolitan Police Department on Alex Houston for threats and attempts on our lives. I sought further protection through Nashville's District Attorney's Office, but was told by the DA's investigator, Skip Sigmund, that until shots were fired, nothing could be done to protect me, since Kelly and I were fleeing members of the U.S. government, intelligence, military, and Justice Department. Federal protection was out of the question. Skip Sigmund, Sigmund, among others, suggested I leave town. November 9th, 1988, I was granted my divorce from Alex Houston in parentheses, proven 100% corrupt, Sumner County, Tennessee, Sumner County, Tennessee. While still dissociative and programmed, Houston's attorney triggered, and that's in parentheses, switched me on the stand, and my own attorney, Jack Butler, refused to address the issues of mind control / abuse, and cut a deal with his friend and Houston's mentor, CIA operative Reverend Billy Roy, R-O-Y, Moore, M-O-O-R-E, and parentheses, of the Lord's Chapel. I wonder if that's the same one that Candace Owens is talking about. / Marsha Trimble, Trimble, murder scandal. Subsequently, I was freed from my arranged, and arranged is underlined, / programmed is underlined, marriage to Alex Houston with little more than the clothes on my back. Jack Butler has retained to this day all evidences supplied him proving mind control / abuse. December 9th, 1988, with only a few hours' notice, I was subpoenaed into court as Mark Phillips. Kelly and I were preparing to flee the state. Kelly's biological father and my first assigned trauma-based handler, in parentheses, arranged by Byrd, Wayne Cox, an occult serial killer used professionally by the CIA, whom Kelly had seen only 3 times in 8 years, demanded she not leave the state. Dissociative and amnesiac, I represented myself in the 6th Circuit Court. In parentheses, there was no time to retain an attorney against Cox, his mother, Alex Houston, and his / their attorney, Bob Anderson, and pled my case to Judge Swigert, Swiggart. I was granted the right to take Kelly out of state, pending a 2-week visitation period with Cox in his home of Chatham, Chatham, Louisiana. Amnesiac, I could not remember why I feared Cox and for Kelly's life, and complied with the court order. December 24th, 1988, I telephoned Judge Swigert at his residence to inform him that Kelly had reported ritual abuse, In parentheses, in a Mormon church at winter equinox / a high occult holiday, December 21st. To me by telephone, and Cox informed me that I could not have Kelly back. Judge Swigert said that due to the holidays, there was nothing he could do beyond suggesting I obtain local police backup to go in and retrieve her myself. Could you imagine? Jesus. December 25th, 1988, in a rather dramatic rescue, Mark Phillips and I successfully saved Kelly, but not before severe psychological damage had occurred. Kelly had witnessed and participated in human sacrifice and cannibalism, was drugged and sexually assaulted by Cox, as is medically documented. Oh my God. Mid-January 1989, we relocated to, excuse me, because I'm probably going to butcher it, Chugiak, Chugiak, Alaska, 30 miles outside of Anchorage. Mark Phillips generously used his own resources until depleted to move us and keep us safe. Spring 1989, Kelly's MK Ultra project, NASA produced programming, had been disrupted by traumas she endured while with Cox, and she began having flashes of memory which prompted her programmed respiratory failure. I took Kelly to Anchorage, Alaska. Pediatrician Dr. Lorrie, Lorrie Shepard, who became gravely concerned over Kelly's lack of response to conventional medication. She recommended that Kelly see local child psychiatrist Dr. Patrick, and that I immediately arranged to receive Medicaid benefits as her therapy would be long-term. She assisted with all the arrangements. June 1989, Kelly's memory flashes began to trigger my own. She spoke of CIA covert operations run by U.S. Senator Robert C. Byrd pertaining to muling, cocaine out of the Caribbean. Kelly went into respiratory failure as programmed to disrupt recalling/telling government secrets, and was hospitalized in intensive care of Anchorage's Humana Hospital. Psychiatrist Dr. Patrick was brought in on Kelly's case. After Kelly's release from Humana, she saw Dr. Patrick several times per week for therapy. So we'll leave it there. Danda kohain kakeiwi and a good chanaske. Till we meet again. Love you, minute.